Hello everyone, MFPallytime here, and welcome back to the A through Z playthrough. In today's video, we have landed upon Ghoulish Daniel. In my opinion, one of the strongest mages that has ever graced this game with his presence. Whenever someone's asking me for fun duo Q combos, or if they're new to the game and they just want to learn a strong character, Gul'dan's the one I recommend. If you go for his Q build, Pursuit of Flame, and just build that out, it's so easy. You just walk up to people, you hit Q, and you keep hitting it, and there's really not a lot to think about. However, I'm kind of jumping the gun a little bit here. I just think he's a great character. Arrived into the game on July 12th, 2016. This was for a tie-in with the Warcraft movie, if anyone remembers that. There was also a staff added into the World of Warcraft that was very Gul'dan themed that I used on my Warlock as well. His current win rate is 48.71%. His popularity is 11.3 with only like a 1.5, maybe not even that % ban rate. So if you're ever jumping into Storm League and you want to play Gul'dan, odds are you're going to be able to play him. We have seen some very interesting changes to Gul'dan over the course of the last few years. For instance, he's pretty much had two play styles the entire time he's been in the game. One was the Pursuit of Flame play style, where you're just casting Fell Flame as often as you can. That was my preferred way to play him, especially in a pre-made kind of situation. The other was Corruption. There are a lot of talents that really boost the potency of Corruption. Well, I guess there's really not a lot of talents, but the ones that are there really boost the potency of Corruption and make it really, really difficult to deal with. While also you can pick up a decent amount of survivability with that setup as well. I wrote the date down, May 9th, 2018, which seems a lot longer ago than I thought that was going to be. We saw some sweeping changes to another one of Gul'dan's playstyles, and it has been here to stay ever since. His W build, the big suck, the drain life. Why is my camera always exactly where I don't want it to be? Used to just kind of be an afterthought. It was part of your build. You used it to get some health back, whatever. There were talents that supported this. However, they were always kind of undertuned. And by far, his W build was the least popular way to play Gul'dan. Now we see a massive shift in the other direction. With this rework, it wasn't even a rework. They just kind of adjusted these spells. I don't even think I would consider this a rework. But on May 9th, when they did this, they increased the range, gave him cooldown reduction while channeling, and made it so Curse of Exhaustion no longer needed someone to be hit with the damage of Corruption in order to slow them. Super duper streamlined it, made it super duper easy to do, and ever since then, Drain Life Gul'dan is by far the most popular way to play him. In fact, most of his builds on Heroes profile are nothing but drain life across the board. There are some challenges with this kind of setup. If you are standing still draining life from someone, you make yourself very susceptible to skill shots and CC. But with the knowledge of what the enemy team can and can't do, working around that isn't too hard. It also has a really nice progression of power all the way from level 1 to about 13. You feel yourself getting substantially stronger with every single talent here, which is pretty fun. Another thing we've seen on Gul'dan is a change to his Reign of Destruction, and my camera wasn't covering it. This used to be you channeled the entire time. You had a cast bar and you held the cast for the entire 7 seconds, let's say, for Reign of Destruction. Now you simply cast or channel or charge up for 1.5 seconds, and then meteors begin to fall from the heavens. A phenomenal change. Allows you to fight inside of your Reign of Destruction and be a lot more aggressive in those situations. But it also opens you up to do even more siege damage and even more zoning with an ability like this. It's super duper good. If an enemy team ever has to fight on an objective, Reign of Destruction can make that look a lot less appealing to them. Prior to this change, Horrify was by far the preferred choice. It had like a 98% pick rate or something stupid. I remember looking at the statistics one time. Literally no one was picking Reign. So I'm happy that those have evened out a little bit. Actually, I'm going to check what they're at right now with pick rates. Okay, so they're not as even as I thought. Horrify is still sitting at an 83% pick rate. Maybe I'm just really biased for rate of destruction. There was also some weird stuff when adaptive spell power became a thing. What adaptive spell power is as you gain spell power bonuses, your abilities dynamically change to fit that new damage threshold that you're able to do with your increased spell power. What used to happen is you used to be able to snapshot stuff. So for instance, if I am Kael'thas and I want to cast a really big pyroblast, well, Anna could nano boost me and then I cast it, and that would kind of snapshot the damage of that additional spell power into the entirety of the cast. Adaptive spell power means that in this same situation, Kael'thas can cast the pyroblast, and as it's in transit, Anna can then use nano boost on him to increase that damage anyway. It doesn't snapshot anymore. There were issues with Gul'dan not working at all with adaptive, at least with his own talent. We tested the damage of Rain of Destruction a few times, and it simply wasn't getting any bonuses. And I don't know if that ever changed. I'm going to assume that it did. Man, Gul'dan gets patched like once a year. He has a patch in 2019, in September or August 2019, June 2020, and January 1st was his last patch. It seems like he's in a pretty good spot. Anyway, I'll stop talking your ear off. We'll jump into a game. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate your support. If you're enjoying the series, please be sure to hit the thumbs up button. And don't forget, November 6th is going to be our 24-hour charity live stream to help sick kids, raising money for the Arnold Palmer Hospital in Orlando, Florida. We're going to be doing that over on twitch.tv/MFPallytime on November 6th. I hope to see you there. Okay, literally after I stopped recording, I looked over to the right and saw the spell power thing. Fix an issue with darkness within spell bonus, not increasing the healing of drained life. So I misremembered which ability was affected, but they did fix it way back in 2018. So yeah, everything I just said, everyone calm down. There's no problems here. We're good to go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we find ourselves on Brax's Holdout. The friendly team today, Gul'dan, Diablo, Anduin, Sylvanas, Jim Laner. The enemy team, Diablo, Whitemane, Tassadar, Greymane, and Kel'Thu motherfucking Zod. At level 1, I think I am still going to go for the suck build in this game. I think it could be pretty fun. There is a case to be made for Echoed Corruption on a map where we're trying to deal lots of siege damage to Zerg. However, I'm going to go for Chaotic Energy at level 1. There are some things we need to worry about in this game as well. For instance, Kel'Thuzad. If he sees me standing still, given the big suck, well, then he can hit me with a lot of his crowd control abilities, gain a lot of damage really quickly, and have a pretty good time. And we never want the enemy team to have a good time. Speaking of which, let's try to dismount Diablo here. I'm going to life tap just to get a little bit more mana back. And then as Whitemane comes up, we're going to use her as a bit of a health battery. I hope whatever's going on up top is going well, and it looks like it is. I'm going to go for a really early sippy cup here because I'm responsible for pushing these guys back and dealing a lot of damage here. I'm going to ping Diablo for help. Hopefully he rotates down. Anduin pretty low on HP. This build revolves around getting regen globes early on in the game, but it's just to help out with the life tap aspect of our character. So our Q ability is the Fell Flame. This does damage in a cone in front of us. It is extremely reliable damage as well. It's super duper easy to hit. Corruption is our E ability. Those are the 3 circles that we just sent out towards the enemy team. Longer cooldown, harder to land. Enemies kind of have to travel with the trajectory of the skill. Trying to suck some life out of the enemy team's Kel'Thuzad. As they're running away, we'll hit with the Corruption, life tap. This build is focused on our W ability, if you haven't picked that up yet. Life Tap does a small amount of damage at level 1, but does restore health to the caster, which I'm sure you could tell is pretty strong in the right situation. I need to make sure I don't get grabbed here. However, it doesn't start out very strong. This build ramps up really well, but this is by far the weakest I'm going to be in this game. Let's see if I can just suck some life out of one of those minions there. As Kel'Thuzad's moving back to the tower, we can throw a corruption towards him. Didn't expect it to land, and it did not land. Again, once I dodge the chain and potentially dodge the root, that's when I have a really big window to start dealing damage to Kel'Thuzad. But making sure I'm in that window is pretty important, Good corruption here on the back line. In fact, it was terrible. It didn't hit anybody, but we do have a free life drain onto Tassadar. If these guys are playing in this back corner, they're kind of setting themselves up for my damage. We're on white mane. She's out of mana, and that should be a kill. Perfect. The dot was enough. And I'm just going to go ahead and life tap and try to dodge some of this stuff. Kel'Thuzad just used all of his abilities. That means I'm free to fully heal off of the minion wave. We could pick up that regen globe and work on our quest some more. So far, our quest is going okay. We're 7 out of 15 required for our quest at the moment. Nice chain, nice chain. Just out of range for corruption. I kind of want these guys to step up a little bit. That regen globe was pretty good bait, but unfortunately my corruption did not land. And that is basically why I don't do the corruption build. It's always been popular. It's always been good. It's just whether or not I can make it work, and in most cases I cannot. Good corruption on Tassadar here. Is it going to be enough? If Jim Laner turned around for one auto attack, it would have been, but that's okay. He's going back to tap. Tassadar still pretty low in the back line. I'm just going to walk up with some Qs. Unfortunately, getting hit by Kel'Thuzad. Decent corruption spot here if he decides to walk away. Diablo moving in is going to secure the kill on Tassadar. And I'm once again going to sacrifice my mana, sacrifice my health to get some more mana with life tap. Looks like the friendly team in control of the objective right now. Let's put a corruption on this tower. That corruption also hitting the enemy team's white mane as well. Now at level 7, we're starting to get pretty powerful. Curse of Exhaustion. Drain life deals more damage to enemies and is also going to slow them down. Meaning we can drain more life off of them because they're in range of our spell even longer. It's just a straight up win-win for us. And it was enough to secure a kill on that Kel'Thuzad there, who didn't realize that he was up too far and slowed. Corruption on Greymane. We are going to hit with most of those projectiles there. I did clip Tassadar with my Q, but that wasn't really the goal. I'm also just going to slow Tassadar down if Jim Laner wants to go in. If he wanted to engage, that would have been his option there. And that was a pretty safe slow because most other enemies were missing. And again, we're going to slow him again so Jim Raynor can hopefully attack move into that guy. Zergwave doing really well here. Unfortunately, I didn't... Okay, we messed up the rest. Good. Unfortunately, I didn't dodge the Q of Kel'Thuzad, but we made up for it with some quick movement. Regen Globe just beneath us here is going to bring us up to 13 out of 15, and again, all we really get from does he want it? He want it? All we really get from this is lower mana cost across the board, which is nice, don't get me wrong, but it's not like you need a rush to get this done or anything. Nothing even close to that. One really nice thing about this build as well is that Gul'dan is able to jungle pretty well. If he kills a target while draining life on them, the cooldown of drain life is reset. So really good for sustaining in lane, but also you are very capable of keeping pressure on the map versus a wide assortment of enemies. Jim Laner still running in. I think we're just going to hang back with our Q here. As we start to lose some HP, we will drain it off of a mercenary camp, drain it again, and you may be starting to see just how strong this is because our drain doesn't have a mana cost either. So it's a very free way of doing damage on Gul'dan, which he doesn't have very many ways of doing that. The enemy team pushing in pretty hard here. We're very close to 10. I wonder if I don't show until 10, actually. That actually seems like a plan. I like that plan. Let's help Jim Raynor get this. I'll just drain this guy. So it's doing 70 damage a tick, but it's like 2 times a second. What's the tooltip damage right now? 195 per second. Wow. That's actually pretty substantial. We're gonna go with Rain of Destruction. It is a it was changed, I guess. That could be one reason I'm picking it up, but the real reason I'm picking it up is simply because it deals phenomenal AoE damage, and it's fantastic at zoning away enemy combatants. We see the Rain of Destruction coupled with the Hyperion here, and this enemy team is simply forced away. Tassadar trying to hearth here as well. He does have wall, I'm assuming, but does he have a healer? Because that was some pretty sick damage. No, he does not. No, he does not. As the friendly team moves in and takes the top lane. Beautiful. I'm going to channel top. I think me and Anduin are the only ones here. I'm not looking to stay here. I'm looking to leave right away. Rain of Destruction used to have a cast bar. You had to sit there and channel it the entire time. Now it simply has a channel for 1.5 seconds, which is a really long time when the enemy team has a Kel'Thuzad. In that last engagement, he saw me and tried to stun me during my channel. If that does happen, it goes on one of those mini 9-second cooldowns, which is kind of irritating, but at least you don't lose the whole thing. But because you don't have to sit there and just cast the entire time, it is really, really strong now. This enemy team likely moving in on the objective, so let's put another Rain of Destruction on them. I know there's some stuff happening on our back line right now, but I really want to fight on the front line because that's where all of my damage is going at the moment. Decent corruption onto Diablo, but I'm not going to be able to get too much more. God damn it, look at our stats. We could life tap here and start to rotate back in. Corruption up in 4 seconds. Easy channel on Tacit. Oh, misclicked onto Greymane. Still an easy channel anyway. Fucking phenomenal corruption on Whitemane. Then we turn to our left to slow down Diablo inside of the friendly team's Diablo's lightning breath, just to keep them both grouped up in there. And this is looking like a pretty dominant position for our team to be in right now. One corruption here will start to do the suck. We just want to make sure we get those kills. Jim Raynor is above us in lane. Hopefully he can rotate down. I'm not dying over this, my dudes. I'm not dying over that shit. I'll drain some life from Diablo. I'll channel a corruption in. If Anduin is staying, I think that's... Oh my god, and I went back in. I did the thing I said I wasn't going to do. I did the thing I said I wasn't going to do. Level 13 is a gigantic power spike for our build. Drain life heals for 75% more health when used on heroes. And we're pretty much using it on heroes a lot. So 75% more healing just gives us more confidence to stand still, sit there, and channel that ability in the face of adversity. However, versus this team, that may actually not be the case. That extra health is going to be really, really nice, but we're still playing around the stun of Kel'Thuzad, the engagements of Diablo, and hopefully not standing in any Tassadar stuff at the same time. So it is nice to have. It is going to be very helpful, but it's not a free ticket to win like it feels like in some games. If the enemy team cannot interrupt you, holy shit. Drain life, Gul'dan is incredibly strong. Ooh, there's the reset. Okay, I got it. We do see the enemy team taking over their bottom mercenary camp as well. It's the only thing on the map left for them to take over. Jim Laner moving forward. I got a pretty good corruption onto the back line there. We're going to slow the enemy team Diablo inside of this Hyperion, and it looks like that is going to result in a kill. Tassadar putting up the wall as it looks like our Sylvanas was going in. I went for the suck on the enemy team's Tassadar once again, just to slow him down. It really wasn't even for the damage. We saw him out of position. We want to help our team capitalize on that positioning. I'm gonna walk right up to the wall and just fucking die. What I was trying to do was cast a Rain of Destruction. This does kind of randomize damage in an area. So it's not super reliable for hitting heroes consistently, but one thing Rain of Destruction is incredibly good at is reinforcing your sieges. If I was able to get that off, the hitbox of the keep is the biggest thing here. So it's likely going to take a ton of damage from these falling projectiles. Whereas, you know, if I was to cast it right here, most of this stuff would just land in open space and maybe we wouldn't get a lot of value out of it. Diablo going back in onto the enemy team. He's going to regret that decision, though. Anduin baited forward as well. Jim Raynor taken down from the Kel'Thuzad, and now our team is in a full-blown retreat. If they're going to continue pushing, though, good corruption on Greymane. Maybe I just channel Rain here. He's in tower range. We want to slow him. Fuck yes. I'm channeling. God damn it, Kel'Thuzad. Hopefully it doesn't matter. See how fast they just moved out of this one? It was like this one didn't even exist for the enemy team. I'm channeling on Greymane just to get some HP, and he was relatively close. Look at that. We're back up to fighting health already. Light Bomb being used on our Diablo. That's going to take down the enemy team's Diablo. Maybe I can bait one of these guys into turning around. That corruption landed. Oh, you think that silver bullet's going to stop me, my dude? Oh, Diablo. Oh, shit. My bad, dude. Dude, that was on me. That was on me, bro. I'm sorry. Luckily, while that was going on, the friendly team did take over both objectives, so we were just creating space. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. At level 16, I like to go for Darkness Within. Dealing 1,124 damage to heroes causes your next life tap to make you deal 25% more damage. So it's not even anything you have to think about. That's why I like it for this tier. You are naturally life tapping with your build anyway. So if you see you have the bonus, you just deal more damage with your life tap. It's pretty smooth. Speaking of dealing more damage, we got a fantastic slow on the enemy team's Tassadar. I'm actually going to rain destruction here too. I did get the cast off, and it is going to finish off the enemy team's Greymane. If the enemy team wants to move back up, they're still getting hit by these barrages, but it looks like they mostly backed up. With a 70-second cooldown, just throwing this thing out randomly is not going to really punish you that much. If it does good damage, great. If it doesn't, well, it's going to be back up in just a minute anyway. If the enemy team was getting big Zerg waves, Rain of Destruction would be really good here because, again, it hits such a wide area, and the Zerg wave, when it's at max size, takes up such a wide area that you're going to be doing a shit ton of damage to it. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be reinforcing our push with the Rain of Destruction this time because we simply don't have the ability from the last team fight. However, I think things are going okay. I was slowing down Diablo on the enemy team for a moment, decided to cancel it when we started taking some tower shots there. I had some questionable positioning in front of a building. He's diving in on me now. I think we corrupt and life drain right now. That's huge damage, and that's enough to kill him. Kel'Thuzad stepping up. I'm trying to get in range. We're in range now. That's huge damage. Rain of Destruction onto the core. Corruption onto the core. Oh my god, look at this siege. This is fucked. That's so much siege damage. I'm not going to be able to kill the core, but I may have stopped them from killing the Zerg for a second longer. We got that down to 11%. If we are ever presented an opportunity to go to the core again, my ult alone will kill it. I can guarantee that. I can guarantee that. Literally, if I have a second to walk up to the core, I can end this game by myself if I'm able to get this cast off. However, stealth tactics are a little bit hard on a 2-lane map, and the enemy team did wipe out our entire team. I appreciate teams that are willing to attack a core. It feels good. Lots of the enemy team missing, and they're ignoring their top tower, which means they're getting boss. Yes, indeed they are. That boss is going to be pushing top lane. Gem laner going up to defend. Is getting boss worth losing your only remaining building and having catapult pressure for the remainder of the match with a core at 11%? Debatable. Yeah, a little debatable. Kel'Thuzad is back. We see Greymane with him and Tassadar on the bottom lane. So, ooh. Well, when opportunity presents itself, you know, who am I to turn it down? I was going to go up top and help with the boss, but it's actually not doing a ton of damage to our building yet, which is kind of surprising. Tassadar moving in with Diablo here. I'm trying to dodge as much as I can. I have a lot of abilities coming towards me at the moment. Let's go ahead and not channel the Rain of Destruction. I'm actually going to cancel that and just totally disengage here. I can slow the enemy Diablo while ours is trying to get away. Sylvanas jumping in front of this enemy team. I don't know if that's the way to do it, but she is going to get out. The Hyperion gliding over as well. I'm in a bad spot here. I'm in a very bad spot here. We're just going to back up. We're just going to back up. I wanted to get that rain cast off, but it simply moved me way too close. I wasn't feeling comfortable there. I'm going to slow inside of the lightning breath. Beautiful combination of skills there. Now slowing the enemy team's Diablo as well. I'm going to cast rain because I think they're going to keep fighting. I want them to keep fighting. Come on, keep fighting, keep fighting, keep fighting. Are you scared? Come Come on. Oh. My drain got interrupted. I'm dead as fuck. Ooh. See, they had no reason to be scared. A little bit of a cocky drain when we know Diablo has his movement abilities. I went for it anyway. If I would have just delayed until he did his combo, I think I would have been able to live there no problem. The enemy team actually getting some momentum here as the objective is being taken, and we keep splitting our deaths on the friendly side to a point where, well, we haven't gotten much done. If we take a look at damage in this game, I am far and above the highest on our team. We also have 21,000 self-healing, which is more than our Diablo. Which is pretty crazy to think about. And almost half of what Anduin has been pushing around as well. The enemy team does have a lot of mercenary camps moving into the top lane right now. We're going to respawn in 5 seconds so we can move up here and try to get a little bit done. Diablo eyeballing that white mane is going in for it, but didn't quite get the combo down. Also standing still inside of Kel'Thuzad stuff at the moment. I'm just gonna disengage from that, make my way down to the bottom lane, and prepare myself to deal damage here. I am getting the upgrade to my Reign of Destruction. I really enjoy this ability, so let's make it better. While the wall's still intact, Rain is going down onto the enemy Zerg wave, and it should completely wipe it out in a matter of moments. I have to drain life on the enemy team's Kel'Thuzad here. I bet he didn't expect that fucking turnaround, dude. I bet he didn't expect that. We're going to kill off Diablo. Burn down Kel'Thuzad if Whitemane can't keep him alive, and she can if she has mana. Looks like he is going to live. And that Zerg wave literally didn't even last a second. That is so incredibly powerful. Diablo re-engaging on Whitemane. We're just going to drain life to slow her down. Perfectly done. Phenomenal Anduin route onto Tassadar. We're going to secure that too. Slowing down enemy Diablo again as he's on ours. Greymane coming back in. Come on, Greymane. Come on, Greymane. Come on. Make my day, Greymane. We can win. I actually need this cast, probably. So I'm just chilling. Let me suck this stuff. 6, 5, 4, but no. Unless you just meant that it was a good win. All right, drain life there. Reign of Destruction on the core. And we have a really nice Gul'dan game on our hands, boys. Really nice Gul'dan game. I feel like my last few games I've played relatively well. Of course, we did make a few mistakes here and there, but this just goes to show you the power of the Drain Life build. It's no wonder it's the most popular Gul'dan build right now. And look at that, we got MVP. Even put in a situation where you have to dance around a bunch of different stuns, it's still, fuck you. It's still really, really good at punishing people that overextend and healing yourself up at the same time as you do it. Here are the stats for the game. We had 100,000 siege, 82,000 hero, 26,000 healing, and 11,000 XP contribution. Very, very nice. And the talents we used for today, if it has a suck picture in it, take it. Reign of Destruction at level 10. I like Darkness Within at 16. Again, because you don't even have to think about it. It's just happening. You can min-max it if you want to, but we didn't even need to. It was nice, nice and easy. That's going to do it for today's video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Take care. I'll see you again soon with a look at Hanzo. Ooh, these next two. That's going to be rough. That's going to be rough.